the character Mordecai. Did you do much work with him?
Yeah, I created Mordecai.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good character, but we never got to see a real push, or we never got to see the best of him.
No, I'll be honest. I thought I got to work with Kevin Fertig. That's a really nice guy, really talented wrestler. And he came up, I think he came out of OVW. I can't remember, but he would come up and I see this guy and I said, a lot of potential. What can I do with these? I was working with all these guys from OVW Farm League. And his dad was a preacher.
Yeah.
He started talking and stuff. And I said, the biggest name we have on the roster is Undertaker. He's the anti-hero. He's just dressed and clad in black. And he said this dark persona. Who is the exact opposite of him would be a bigger heel? And since I'm anti-religion anyway, that's my stance on everything. I think it's all bullshit and a scam. For me. The bane is mankind, this religion. I said, this religious zealot who believes his own bullshit. So we started working together and stuff. And I remember I had a list of names I wanted to push for Vince. And we were in Boston, the Boston Garden, my hometown, doing a show. And I wrote a bunch of names out of the Bible for Vince. And I wrote 10 names. And the 5th name was Mordecai. And I wrote it in pencil, but bigger than the other names too. And I remember handing the list to Vince. I told Vince what I was doing with the character, these ideas, he liked it. I go, what do you think of these names? And he's going down the list, reading the names. And I'm watching his lips, and he goes, Mordecai. Mort. That means death. Well, I like it. And boom, went off. I started writing promos and doing videos and B-roll and stuff. And I thought it was interesting characters. It was all going towards a pay-per-view, him and Taker. It just made perfect sense. And he got a lot of heat. It was really good. And then there was some backstage politics. I found out that people weren't understanding the character, where the character was going and stuff. And the thing back there, if someone gets in Vince's ear, if certain people get in Vince's ear, it's like having an earwick, and it's just going to destroy it. So before the character could really come to life and fruition, they dropped the ball. And I thought, and a lot of people came to me after this. People still to this day, they say, "What a great concept!" With the idea of him and Taker really coming to a head. This religious zealot and this dark anti-character. And Vince he'd have me write these promos about Mordecai. We would take these plane flights like 3 a.m. Everyone's sleeping, and he'd do like this to my shoulder. Hey, you were sleeping? Well, every normal person would be, Vince, but he goes, take this down. He goes, and it was to be a Mordecai promo. And Mordecai would get cheap heat from the audience. He goes, I look out at the audience, wherever town you're in. I see fat, slovenly men, women who look like whores, bratty kids. And I go, you're really trying to get the heat with this guy, Vince, really putting him over, right? And but I thought it was an interesting character. I found out later on, someone told me that every time that character was on, Sky in England would cut it for some reason, for religious content for some reason, or they were editing. I don't know. I've gotten in trouble a couple times in my career with censors and organizations, so I was used to it. But yeah, I wish the character had more legs to it, but it was a good concept, and I gave it my all. Kevin gave it his all. The fans loved it, but certain people backstage, once they put the kibosh on something, it's a done deal.